How's it going, YouTube? Back again with a short video this week. I made this patch and it's filled with lots of switches. I really like switches, really like playing around with them. And this time with this patch, I just felt like, hey, let's make a patch with a bunch of switches, and I just sort of went from there. So let's just solo this first channel, which is really just this line here. So I have this Euclidean sequencer here, which is a 4-track Euclidean sequencer. Each track is set on a different timing interval. They're all going into this 8-to-1 switch, and that output of that is going into various things. So it's going into a sample and hold, it's going into the clock of this 4-step sequencer. It's also going into another sample and hold over here. It's triggering the macro oscillator as well. So there's a lot happening there. Got a bit of slew happening courtesy of these extremely small NIST slew modules. It's slewing the pitch and also the harmonics and the morph of the macro oscillator. Bit of light filtering happening with another sample and hold and another slew. Probably could have just used one of these slews, but decided to use this one. It's the nature of VCV, really, isn't it? You can just keep adding modules. And so that's the first track. And I'll just bring the volume up again. It's kind of an evolving, in terms of the timbre, it's got an evolving timbre. The melody is very repetitive. Let's try and look at our second track, which is much more extensive in the way it's built. So I've got these 8-step sequences, 8 of them and 8 steps, and they are going into this 8-to-1 switch. I just randomized all of these sequences just by right-clicking. So they're all going into this 8-to-1, and the output of that is going into a fence here, which limits our note range. And it's just going into this VCV quantizer, which I've kind of got set to like a B minor scale, I think. And the output of that is then going into this 1-to-8 switch, so I'm splitting it out again. And yeah, each step is going into one of these either 4 wavetable or 4 window VCOs, all up 8. The window VCO is basically identical to the wavetable VCO, with just a few slight differences. Yeah, how did I get stuck on this display? I can't remember how to... Oh, there we go, the 3D, yeah. So yeah, there are some very slight differences with the format. There's also a saturation knob on the wavetable. You also got these skew knobs, which I haven't really played with before. But they are different, but they are also quite similar. They're both wavetables anyway. So I use them, and the output of them are all going into these Velamina quad VCAs, so 8 channels all up. I'm also modulating all of the wavetables with Langor here from Wicked. And yeah, the Velamina outputs are then going into another 8-to-1 switch. And all of this is being clocked from this Eugene Euclidean sequencer here. So everything is locked together. If things go out of sync and it doesn't quite work because of the way it's set up, so you kind of have to reset the clock if it goes out. But everything is locked together now and it works. And the output of that is then going into tangents, and then into this low pass gate here. And the low pass gate is going out into a wave folder from Instruo called Athru, which in turn is going into this chorus from Surge, and then out into the mixer. It's also going out into Etch-a-Sketchoscope from Nisthi, which is a really beautiful oscilloscope. Really love this kind of stuff. That's just for fun. So let's go to our last channel, which is just this pad down here. There's no switches in this part. I kind of added this late in the piece, but I've just got these 8-step sequences. They're all set to random, and they are being clocked at different rates, which if I go up to my clock, you can see they are on 16, 12, or like minus 16, or divided by 16, 12, and 8. So they're kind of overlapping each other, and they're all individually going through a quantizer and into these window VCOs individually, and then they have their individual envelopes. So they're all kind of happening at different rates, which I really like. And the output of that's just going into this filter here. I just noticed I'm not even using this what do you call it? ADSR. I'm just modulating the filter with this Thomas module from Wicked. So yeah, that's kind of that part of it. And all together, as we heard at the beginning of the video, just sounds like this. So yeah, short video this week. I just wanted to make this patch and just talk about it, which kind of is every video I make. But I've just got less time these days than I used to, so I can't quite go into it with the same level of detail, perhaps. But yeah, there's some good stuff happening here. Let's just clean this up now. I don't have that there. Oh, I can't really, can I? Oh, I can. I'll go over there. Put that there. This is just some OCD shit on my part. It's not necessary, but I don't know if anybody else gets like this with arranging their patches. But yeah, I just think it's a beautiful patch. And it's fun to use switches in all variety of ways. There's lots of fun things you can do with them. Anyway, I'm just gonna let this play out. And yeah, let me know what you think. As always, check out my other video series, my Make and Beats series, and my PhD stuff. I don't expect people to be anywhere near as interested in the PhD stuff, but I figured I'd highlight it anyway. And yeah, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.